Hey folks, what's going on? Welcome to episode 60 of Coach Gav Live. Now, you might be wondering, why are you sitting in the dark? You should probably go and get better lighting. That's the very purpose of this video, is that, and also I know I'm slightly off the frame of music, is that annoying? Shit. No, wait. There we go. Alright, let's try that one again. So first lesson is don't rest your phone on plug sockets while you're trying to do it. So the electricity in the gym isn't working today. We have a small electrical problem, which has made us have to cancel the first 2 blocks of training today. And not exactly ideal when we've been closed for the past 2 and a bit weeks anyways, getting the place ready. Things are going to go wrong. And in reality, more things will go wrong before they go right. But when they do go right, that's all that really matters. You know, it doesn't matter if you, like, let's think of sports for a second. It doesn't matter if you're losing the whole way through the game once you win at the end. And that's where so many of us go wrong. We don't understand that we will have to lose, we will have to struggle before we can win. So I understand that, you know, while the lighting isn't working, and while this video probably won't get many views because, oh my god, it's not in like 4K HD, it doesn't matter. This video is real and it's raw and it's relatable, and that's one thing our videos will always be. That's why I prefer the live format as opposed to like a vlog where I film myself for a couple of days and piece it all together nicely. Things are going to go wrong. So wrong. And if you can be flexible, you know, obviously not physically flexible, if you can be flexible in your plan and flexible in your approach, you will still succeed. So the plan was obviously to come in and to train everyone. I was hoping to get a lick of paint on the walls as well, but obviously the lighting's gone off. So now that has taken a priority. I need to get that fixed, but that's also outside of my control. It's outside of my skill set. But what's not outside of my skill set is tidying up the rest of the gym, cutting the floor mats into shape, tacking down the grass, that's done then as well. So even though I can't do one thing, I can still do something. So you might not be able to train in the gym you want to train in. You can still train though. You can still be active. You can still try and get better sleep. And I think people grossly underestimate that. They grossly underestimate the value of having really good sleep and the importance and the domino effect it has on your body and your lifestyle. You know, I can still, again, even like this morning when it was pitch black, I went off, I got a coffee, and I got some study done. So where I should have been training clients, because obviously I couldn't because we had no lights and it's kind of dangerous to train in the dark, I just went and did something else. So doing something will, you know, there's always something you can do to move you forward. And that's what I would say, is that it's not always a case of kind of something is better than nothing. Something that will help you progress is better than nothing. Because sometimes, and we'll talk about this more as time goes on, sometimes if you go and we have what we call kind of, you know, kind of self-destructive kind of habits where we naturally are programmed to be problem solvers, so that if we don't have a problem to solve, we'll subconsciously create one, or even consciously create one, to then go and solve it so we can be busy. And that's why so many people struggle with the, like to say, like meditation or journaling and relaxation and things like that, because it involves almost nothingness. So something progressive is always better than nothing, but nothing is always better than something destructive. So rather than going and having an extra nap or going back for a sleep, I went and studied, because that was something progressive. The nap would have been something regressive. It would have been a waste of my time. Now I'll still go and have my nap as normal this afternoon, but again, this whole thing is that, what do you do when things go wrong? Do you kick, fuss, fight, bitch, moan, whinge? Or do you kind of go, okay, let's find a solution. What's my next step forward? Because if you take one step forward every day, you'll be 365 steps ahead by the end of the year. Now, that's not to say you won't take backward steps, but once, again, ultimately, we've more forward steps than backward steps, that's a win. Okay, I'm a big American football fan, for those of you who have been living under a rock for the last while. And last year in the Super Bowl, basically the season final, like the Champions League of American football, my team, the Patriots, were losing the entire game. Like for the 60 minutes of the game, they were behind for 59 minutes, and I think like 45 seconds. And they tied the game at the end. They went into overtime and they won. It was the greatest statistical comeback in the history of Super Bowl finals. So even though everything was going wrong the whole game, they still just kept progressing. They made one pass and then another, and then they made a run, and then they got the ball back, and then they had all these little things came together. So it wasn't as like, it was like a 28 point gap at one stage. They couldn't overcome 28 points in one go. The most they could do was in blocks of 7, as they go about blocks of 8, a 2-point conversion. But blocks of 7 traditionally, as you're going along. And that was working on the assumption that the other team didn't score. So, and that's kind of where you're going to go. You're going to have to come from behind an awful lot. And because you're going to have weeks where you lose a lot of kind of weight on the scales, and awesome. And then you'll have weeks where nothing will happen. That doesn't mean that let's say Monday to Sunday is your week. So Monday to Sunday, when you weigh X, and then the next Monday to Sunday you weigh lower, and you go awesome. But then the next Monday to Sunday, you either stay the same, maybe come up a little bit, or you go down a bit more. At some stage, your loop from Monday to Sunday will give you a result you don't really like the look of. It'll be a plus, it'll be a neutral, it'll be something along the lines of that. That doesn't mean that what you did necessarily from that Monday to Sunday was like vital. Again, it's the combination of everything together is what we're trying to get at here. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up here because I do need to go and get the electrics sorted and everything. But like this, when things go wrong, there's always something else we can do. You slip up on your nutrition for a meal. Guess what? That's only one meal. The next meal that comes up, make better choices. Cool, we're back on track. We've got momentum back on our side. You have one bad workout or you skip a workout. That's fine. Just don't skip the next one. Kind of get back into your rhythm. Get momentum on your side. You don't do your meditation or your journaling or whatever you're trying to do to kind of improve your life. You skip something or you miss out on something. That isn't necessarily okay, yeah, shit, I kind of started downward slope. You have a blip. And so when the blip happens, we can either blip and go back to normal or blip and peter off. So again, and I wish you could just, there's a certain level of trust here as well. You kind of, again, 11 years experience. More stuff will go wrong before it goes right. Now, that doesn't mean that doesn't mean you be okay with things going wrong. You still find a solution to it. But you need to be able to roll with the punches. You need to be flexible, saying, okay, well, the plan's going to change. My plan today is going to change massively. I also just spent 20 minutes trying to tack down the grass using the wrong tape. So, again, that's something went wrong. So my plan of having the grass all tacked, so the lighting went, which meant I couldn't train anybody. Couldn't do kind of my studying here because it's kind of dark. And I was like, okay, cool, I can stick down the grass. We've enough light coming in through the windows and doors, that'll be fine. Spent 20 minutes trying to use the wrong tape to realise it's single-sided, and of course I need double-sided tape. Thanks to the staff in Woodies for that one. To be fair, I should have checked it, but anyways. So that's something else that's gone wrong. So couldn't train anyone, now can't put the grass down, so what do? Well, I can go and get study done. I can go and get ahead of myself in my journaling. I can go and get my meditation done. I have a couple of other errands that I need to run that I can now move forward in the day because of it. Things are going to go wrong. That's fine. Don't be fucking freaking out. Again, generally, the more people freak out, it's because they put themselves under so much pressure. They have a holiday or a wedding or an event coming up and they've left it way too fucking close to actually achieve what they're trying to achieve. So I'm not saying don't have big goals. Have big goals. Dream big, aim high. Because if you're going to change your life, it takes as much effort to change a little as it does to change a lot. Because it's the habit of change is effectively the same. That's the hardest part. So if you're going to change for something really worthwhile. Things are going to go wrong, roll with it, be flexible, find a solution. And that's where so many people go wrong, is that when things start to kind of slow up or the results dry up a little bit, they try the toys out of the pram. And I see it all over Facebook already, all these people pushing these bullshit detox teas and these slimming this and fucking fat burning that. Don't. Just fucking don't. And I don't give a shit how well anyone's fucking pictures look. Sure, the scales might have changed, but I mean, what's their health like? What's their strength like? You know, that's a different discussion, going off track here. But like, so that's it. Things are going to go wrong. Roll with it, because I guarantee you, it could be that one thing could be it. Developing the ability to be flexible when things go wrong, to be able to keep your calm in the kind of the eye of the shitstorm, that could be the very thing that allows you to progress further. And when you progress further, you become better equipped mindset wise, skill set wise, everything, to achieve better results physically, mentally, emotionally, all those things across all the areas, really. So that is pretty much it. I am off. Take it easy. I'll see you later on, hopefully, if the lights are working. No. Wait. Hold on. There we go.